I was 19. We went to these clubs and we met this group of people and they're like, yo, we're going to take you to this techno party. And I was like, we're partying. Just take me wherever.
Right.
And they're like, this is Tiesto. This is Deadmau5. This is Cascade. And that's how I discovered it. And the next day in Kelowna, Deadmau5 was playing on the beach and we could hear it from the field. And I was hooked. I was working at Jersey Mike's at the time and doing that, working as a promoter. And I emailed him because I had known him for a year or two. And I sent him this song. And I was like, yo, Wax, I've finished this song. I'm in a place where I think I'm going to quit music. Nothing's happening. I have a soft spot for pop music. Okay. A lot of people don't know that. And I've made a ton of music like that and just never put it out.
It's Powertools, and we got Bijou in the house. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's good to have you in the house. I mean, you're making a lot of moves right now, doing a lot of stuff. I mean, you've had releases on Musical Freedom, Night Base, Confession. You've released 2 albums, which is incredible.
Thank you.
You've played EDC, Nocturnal Wonderland, Decadence. Let's go back to the beginning of Bijou. How did you get into dance music? Everybody has that moment. What was your moment that brought you into this fold?
I was playing baseball, so it started in my sports career. I was playing in the West Coast League in Washington, and we were in Kelowna, Canada, and we were out.
Wait. When you say baseball, is this like Little League, or you're like playing professional? You said I'm playing baseball. You're playing professional.
So this
right?
was was like, have you heard of the Cape Cod League in the East Coast? So this was like the West Coast Cape Cod League.
Oh, shit.
Playing in after my freshman year of college.
So you're doing some real athletic. What position?
I was a pitcher.
No shit.
Yeah, so I played all 4 years in college, and I played indie ball afterwards. So I played pro baseball.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, you're playing pro baseball, and you're going to clubs. So how did you discover dance music?
I was 19. We went to these clubs, and we met this group of people, and they're like, yo, we're going to take you to this techno party. And I was like, we're partying. Just take me wherever. Right. And they're like, this is Tiesto. This is Deadmau5. This is Cascade. And that's how I discovered it. And the next day in Kelowna, Deadmau5 was playing on the beach, and we could hear it from the field, and I was hooked. I was like, I love this.
Where are you guys? Where is this happening at?
Kelowna, Canada.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yep. West coast of Canada.
Right.
It was crazy.
And that was your introduction. You're like, I'm hooked.
That was my intro. And then I got on YouTube. I found Tiesto's Power Mix, and it was over from there.
Wow. That's amazing. So after that, what DJs are you listening to? Obviously, Deadmau5, Tiesto. You're not DJing yet, but who's like in your playlist?
So this was this was the golden EDM era. This is 2010, right? Like Dada Life, Laid Back Luke, Chucky,
Chucky,
Donald Glod.
Right.
And then I went to my first festival the next year. It was Nocturnal Texas, which they don't have anymore. Saw Avicii, saw Porter Robinson at 3 p.m. on a side stage.
Wow.
Armin, like you name it, like the OGs, Green Velvet.
Right.
It was crazy.
So then you're really hooked. Then what got you the bug to start producing? Because I know your dad manages bands and he played instruments. Did that inspire anything?
For sure. So I was around music my whole life, and it was something that I think subconsciously was always there, but I was so stuck in sports that I was like, like where should I go with this? And I met a friend of mine at school that year that took me to the festival, and I saw these DJs and was like, that's what I want to do with my life. And then I started DJing, and then probably didn't start producing till about a year later when I got back to Phoenix from school because I was in Oklahoma, and I started working for this promo company in Arizona that worked with Relentless Beats, who manages me now. And started playing shows, promoting, and I met a friend of mine, Evan, and he's like, yo, you got to make music. You can't just play it. Right. I was like, okay. So that's where I was hooked. So then I sat with him for a year just watching him on Ableton before I even touched it. And just kind of learned the ins and outs of Ableton, and then kind of went from there.
Wow. That's amazing. And what was the first record that you produced? It probably didn't come out, but like, do you remember that? Like you finished your first song and like how happy and ecstatic you were?
Yeah, for sure. It was with Evan, and it was from, have you heard of the movie Blood In, Blood Out?
Yeah.
It was a Blood In, Blood Out sample. You know the scene where they're fighting on the top of the hill? It was from that. And we took parts of that vocal and made like this tribal house record.
Wow.
And it was crazy. I was like, yo, this is the coolest thing. And I was like, you can sample anything, take whatever you want. This was a different era.
Right.
Like, you can't do that now. Back then, you could sample stuff and put it out, and no one would care.
Right. You're 100% take whatever you want.
Yep.
The world is yours.
Yeah, so we were sampling that, and then kind of went from there. I did a remix for a random label in Arizona, and then I think from there was when I discovered G House, like my older sound.
Right. And talk about the early days of G House, because I saw an interview where it's actually funny. You're like explaining it. Like, there's this new sound. They take hip hop beats over house beats. Like, that was kind of a moment right then.
It was like, I discovered it from Destructo.
Right. Same here. Same here.
He was playing that Torn Foot Rondo track.
Yes.
Right? And I heard it and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, they put hip hop vocals on a house beat.
Right.
It's like, that's all you got to do?
Right.
So then, dude, because I'm a hip hop head. Right. I came from hip hop, right? So then I just started sampling everything. I was like, we can get away with this? SoundCloud.
It's free.
Exactly. It's free, right? And I was hooked. I was like, this is crazy. And then Wax Motif, Dr. Fresh was doing it back then, Amin Edge and Dance. It was a real era. It was still house music. Right. But it was a different era, and it's almost like cycled back through right now. Right. Which is crazy. And that the Cuff label, Sleazy G that was in the UK, all these guys. And then I met these dudes, the Cool Cats. Yeah. And those were like my ride or dies for a while until they split up.
Right. Nice. Speaking of Wax Motif, there was a point where I read you were about to give up on music completely. Yeah. Get like a full-time job, give it up. And he posted one of your records.
Yeah. I was working at Jersey Mike's at the time and doing that, working as a promoter. And I emailed him because I had known him for a year or two. And I sent him this song and I was like, yo, Wax, I've finished this song. I'm in a place where I think I'm going to quit music. Nothing's happening. The American sound of G House hadn't come around yet. Right. And this is kind of like, people will be like, yo, you want to be ahead of the curve. But I always tell them, you don't want to be too ahead of the curve. Right. So I was doing that, but no one was doing it yet. Right. So I sent it to Wax. I was like, dude, I'm going to quit music after this if he doesn't respond. And 2 weeks later, he did this Facebook post that he had been doing every month, his top 10 songs. Never responded to me, but he put that song number 2. Wow. And I was like, all right, maybe we won't quit. I sent it to Dr. Fresh 2 weeks later. He signed it for his label at the time. And then I got another opportunity when it's able to quit Jersey Mike's, like 2 weeks later. I started producing for Kevin Federline, which is a story I haven't told very often.
What? Explain to that. How does that happen? And what exactly are you producing?
I was making trap music for him. Oh, okay. Right? He wanted to DJ. Right. The only thing that we ever really did was like I made him he had a residency at Crazy Horse in Vegas, the strip club at the time, and we made the Crazy Horse like anthem, which was the only thing that really ever came out. And I was just like, that's kind of tight. I was horrible at making trap music. Right. I was like, I told him straight up, I'll help you. I've never done this before. Right. But that got me out of working a job. You know, I was like, I'm going to use this as a tool to build my project and get it where I need to be. Right. So, and now he's like, still talk to him here and there too. He's a good dude.
That's amazing. It's amazing how one post changed your artist's trajectory.
Yeah, it could have ended that day.
Right. That's crazy. Does he know?
Yeah. You know. I told him years later. Yeah. You know, I told him years later. Like every now and then, I'll tell him thank you because I'll see him here and there, and it's like honestly, if that wouldn't have happened, I probably would have stopped. Right. And gone back to school and been a lawyer. Right.
That's amazing. All right. So you have your latest single, Better Love, with Shayan on Physical. It's really sick tune.
Thank you.
Big hook. Yeah. Piano vibes. This is not the normal Bijou tune.
It's a little different.
Yeah. Talk to us about it.
It's poppier. I have a soft spot for pop music. Okay. A lot of people don't know that. And I've made a ton of music like that and just never put it out. And this year, over the last couple of years, I've really transitioned my sound. Like my last record was on Catch and Release. It's a clubbier record. Right. And I had this sitting and I was just like, yo, I love this record. Like, I don't care. I want to put it out. Right. Even if it's just for me. Right.
But you originally had another vocal on it, right?
Yeah. So it was a Whitney Houston vocal. So I had gotten a pack of vocals and it was supposed to get cleared by a major label that didn't end up getting cleared. So then we went through a process of finding the right vocals, and we went through probably 5 vocalists.
Right.
And I had then discovered Shayan on a different song and was like, yo, she's going to nail it.
Right.
She nailed it, and then we sat on it, went through another process with labels, and then Physical Presents took it and was like, we love this record, we want to push it. Now it's out, which is crazy.
That's really dope. How do you handle... because this is so different for you, and maybe you haven't gotten into it yet. We like the old Bijou sound. What are you doing? Like, how do you get your fans to take the journey with you?
So my fans are they're diehards.
Right.
I've been able to build a fan base where they kind of ride with me, but I've also been going through that process for the last year and a half until we put that record out with Catch and Release.
Right.
Because it's still house music.
100%.
Right? And I can still play it in my sets and people get down to it. But the last year and a half prior to that, it was like, what am I going to do when I'm moving out of G House?
Right.
And I was kind of just, I was lost on a personal level and I was lost musically. So I kind of had to find myself to find the music again.
And what did it take when you were lost? What did it take to find the music again? Did you have to step away? Was it different collabs?
Mm-hmm.
What was it for you?
I think perseverance is the number one word I think of because I'm a workhorse. I work every day, nonstop. So I think it was the process of failing over and over and over till I got to the point where I was like, this is right for me. Because I was making like melodic house music. I was making techno. I was making anything you can think of in the house realm. I was making it.
Right.
Until I was like, this feels right. And it's hard to explain because when you feel it, you know.
Yeah.
When you write a record, you're like, this feels right for me.
Right.
And that one was one of them. Mm-hmm. But then the first record we signed with Catch and Release was another one of them, which is funny. It hasn't even come out yet because we're in the process of a vocal clearance thing. And my buddy, he's the A&R over there. And I found out, and I randomly sent him this record. I was like, this isn't even done. Let's see what happens. And, dude, it wasn't even mixed and mastered all the way.
Right.
And I sent it to him. He's like, this is insane. I'm sending it to Fish now. And I was like, please don't. Like, it's not ready.
Right.
And he's like, nah, I'm sending it. And then Fish played it at Art Basel the next week. And they're like, we want it.
That's crazy. It's not even mixed.
No, and it's been almost a year since we signed it.
Right.
Right. It's not mixed. It's not ready. But apparently it went off.
Right.
And that's what kind of set the stage for like what the last year has kind of been going
into. Did that
into.
give you the confidence?
Yeah.
Fish playing it, them signing, like, this is the new direction.
Yeah, because last year, I think I signed one record all year long. I probably produced 100 songs.
Right.
And one got signed.
Right.
And it was a label I had already been working with. So it was nothing new. I got so many no's. And then Fish was like, we love this. And then they came correct and brought like a deal to the table for a multi-song deal. And now we're working through that.
When you're getting so many no's, do you think because you're producing different types trying to figure it out and you hadn't nailed the sound yet?
Mm-hmm. I think that's part of it. Right. But a lot of the time we'd be like, hey, we love these records, but you're the G House guy. Are you doing this moving forward, or are you just trying to do this because you think it's cool? Right? House music is real clicky.
Right.
And they make you work to get into the space. Like AC Slater, like I had to put in a lot of work to finally get into night bass and make things happen years ago. And it's like that in house music.
Yeah.
Maybe even more. You know, it's very, what's the word? It's clicky, I guess is how I put it.
No. You're right, because if you're known for one thing and a new label is known for another thing, then you almost have to, like, your record has to be so much better than the other records that they're sitting on for them to accept it.
Yeah.
Not just as good, because then they're like, but he's the G House guy.
Yeah. They're like, we love you. We love what you do, but, like, we don't know if we love what you do for us.
Right.
Which is fine.
It's also hard to accept.
Yeah. But it's funny because, like, playing baseball, I take a sports mindset into it. In baseball, if you go 3 for 10, which is failing 70% of the time, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So it's like, all right, I'll just fail over and over and over. And what did I say the other day? I was like, someone who succeeds is only someone who failed enough times to get to that point.
100%.
Right? You just keep failing until something good happens.
Right. fell upwards.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Well, that's amazing, man. I mean, and speaking of your recent single on Catch and Release, Mind Erasure, with Datti. Talk to us about that collab, because that's a dope tune, man.
Thank you. I was in the studio with her last night, actually, working on new stuff.
Nice.
So I had done a record with her previously that was on the second album.
On your second album.
Chit Chat.
Yeah.
The Chit Chat record, right? And that, because she has the Datti project and she has the Know Me project. So it's the same person.
I didn't know that was the same person.
Yeah, same person.
Okay.
So it depends what kind of vocal it is where she's going to put it.
Got it.
So we had been working on stuff, and I was coming to LA. I was in the Dominican Republic. I was coming to LA for a show at Exchange, and I had a session with her the day after. And I had 2 songs. This is a weird, crazy story about this song, actually. I had 2 songs, and I'm sitting in the DR getting ready for the show, and I was like, these songs are garbage. Like, I need something else.
Right.
So the next day I'm flying, I had to connect in Charlotte. I wrote Mind Eraser in the lounge. Like, I was like, I got to make something for her.
Right.
Right? Played the show. Next morning, tried to finish it, was late to the session. We get there, and that's the only song she liked.
Nice.
And we probably wrote the vocal in 15 minutes, recorded it, and I finished the song on the spot.
Nice.
And Fish was playing it a week later. And I don't think I had sent him anything since the previous song.
Right.
And Mark was like, yo, we need more music from you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, here's this one. And he played it a week later in Fresno. He had a block party. It was like 15,000 people. They signed it the next day. And I was like,
that's sick. Isn't that exciting, the way music can move today?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the ultimate A&R is the DJ dropping the record today. That's the ultimate.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
If you don't have the DJ support, you really don't have much.
Right.
Because if you think about it, the DJs that are touring across the world, they're playing it for all the people.
Right.
So then it gets widespread from there. Then it goes on social media. And dude, Fish is playing. To me, Fish is a superstar, like 100%. International superstar.
100%.
So like he's been playing the records at Tomorrowland, Mysteryland, everywhere.
Right.
Which to me is the coolest thing.
Right. That's dope. Now, you also are the label boss of Do Not Duplicate Recordings. And, you know, running the label isn't for everybody. It's hard work. Talk to us about why it's important for you.
One, it's a place where I can put out music whenever I want, however I want. So it gives me artistic freedom, right? But also, like, we started the label, because when I started it, I was nervous, because that's when I was, like, heavy with night bass.
Right.
And I announced it, and AC hit me immediately. He goes, yo, he's like, this is dope. He goes, but why are you doing it? Like, what's the purpose, right? And I was like, that's a cool question. Him, Fresh, and Wax put me on early and helped develop my career.
Right.
Right? And I was like, I want to do the same thing you did for me for other artists.
Right.
So initially, that was the entire purpose of the label. And then it just grew and grew and grew. And then when I went through like this sound change, like over the last year, we kind of pulled away from a little bit because I was like, my friends are hitting me up like, yo, we want to put music out on the label. And I'm like, nah, not right now. And it was a weird space because I couldn't really tell them what was going on and this and that. But afterwards, I told him, I was like, I was trying to protect you guys because if we put this music out, it's not going to do any service for you.
Right.
Right. So now we're back in a place where it's like, all right, we want to really develop artists again. Working with this dude, Kelland, who's crushing it. Gold Lemonade from Vegas. So there's.
Love Gold Lemonade. Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
Good people too. Some of my favorite people in music. So now we're back in a space where it's like, all right, we're pushing the label really hard and we really want to develop certain artists and get back into that place. Right.
That's really, really dope.
It's fun for me because then we can do like artist showcases, things of that sort. We're talking about maybe Miami Music Week this year.
Nice. Now, you've been vocal about mental health and wellness recently. Talk to us about why that is important to you. And I'm sure it also, when you were trying to find your new sound and your new direction, this all kind of came into play.
So, like I said, last year was very difficult for me. Right. You know, like touring was slower. And we knew that going in. 2023, I played, I think, more shows than I ever had in my life. I think we did 100 shows.
Right.
But we knew going into the next year, the sound is changing. It's going to be slower. Right. So going through that process, as much as I say, yeah, all those no's didn't affect me, that affects you subconsciously. Right. And being on the road is grueling, back and forth, nonstop. And you got to take care of yourself.
Right.
Mentally, physically. Otherwise, you're going to crash and burn. And I've seen it happen to my friends. I've seen it happen to colleagues. And I think it's just an important thing. I've been vocal about it because I want people to know that it's okay, that you can be vocal about it. You don't have to hide it. Right. You know, and I think it's a more common place nowadays where people are feeling more comfortable about that. But I think for men, it's important because from a societal standpoint, you have to be like this manly person, right? As a man, it's okay to feel weak at times. Everybody does. And you can express that.
Right.
So I think it's important to let people know that that's okay.
Dope, 100%, man. So what does Bijou have cooking for the rest of 2025, but more importantly, 2026?
So we got Come Alive coming up next, another record with Datti on Physical Presents. That's in November. Then we're going to take a little time away for the holidays. 3 singles on Catch and Release next year.
Nice.
Which is cool. Record possibly with West Side Gun.
Okay.
Not back to the G House thing though. Right. Which is cool because it's like he's such an artistic icon in hip hop, and that record's been going off in my sets, and he loves it. So now we're going through the process of how do we want to go about it. Some cool collabs, more records with Datti as well. This dude Sam Ivy, that I'm not going to say a whole lot about, but he's like, I'll just say he's a very, very talented producer that's going to launch his project, what looks like next year. Kellen collab.
Nice.
And amongst other things. We got a lot of stuff happening.
That's exciting, man.
And then the second half of the Mind Eraser tour starts this month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's dope. And what cities are you hitting?
We've been all over the country.
Right.
Halloween weekend, we got Edmonton, Montreal. We're going Seattle, Vancouver, Cancun. We're going... It's a lot, honestly.
Nice,
I can't keep track.
Well, it's awesome having you here, man.
Thank you.
I really love the new direction that you're heading, and it's tough switching sounds, man. It is tough, but you are nailing it, and I think next year, I think it's going to be an exciting year for you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Powertools.